Hey, thanks for stopping by, guys. Getting started here in a couple minutes. Hello, everybody. Just doing my usual posts, and we'll get started here soon. Appreciate you guys taking the time. How's your guys' day going? All right. I went ahead and did all my posts, so the people should be pouring in. But I really didn't want to come out and do this analysis tonight. Not in the best mood today. I was actually like really pissed off a couple hours ago, but I still got to come out here and give you guys the market update. But I don't really like who I was today. I like had to basically fire one of our market cipher moderators, and I just know that like that sent you guys are probably dealing with similar issues like in your life after what happened today. Like the spaces that we're in, the places we work at, the relationships we have with other people. Um, things got to like a boiling point today. Probably across the whole country. Charlie Kirk is like a very liked person by a lot of Americans, and a lot of people have like pretty close like memories with him. Like he was very, very active, traveled a lot. Personally, like I crossed paths with him multiple times just by going on my morning hikes, and like I found a church that I started going to, and like he started speaking at that church, and so I would like listen to Charlie Kirk give his speeches, and it was crazy to me that that was all right in my backyard, like right at the place where I hiked every day while I was building this channel and improving my life. And isn't it weird, guys, that like that church was also my voting location? So like after doing all those push-ups all year last year, not really knowing with 100% certainty like if Bitcoin is going to 100K, I look up my latest voting location and it's like that church right off the trail from my hike. So I was like, okay, God is like asking me to go on one more hike here and like stand up for what I believe in. So, but Charlie was like a big part of that, man. So Charlie is like my age, and I'm someone who like at one point in my life was very vocal and like I would get mad about politics when I was younger. Lately, I've been a lot less into politics, but I almost consider Charlie like a friend. Like I truly stand up for him in death. Like when I see people writing weird comments, like weirdo comments right after he died, like I just feel like the right thing to do is to stand up for the person who literally passed away. But um, so it's a shame that today was such a grim day. People who are like into politics and maybe considered politics now see what happens when you like speak up for what you believe in. You know, it's just bad, man. It's just bad. But when I planned this stream earlier in the week, it was all good news. I had only good news to give you guys, and in the charts, there was a lot of good that happened since September 1. We were doing great. This new monthly VWAP came for Bitcoin. It was nothing but positive for price, and it's just been sloped up and in agreement with the black area, the 5-day MA trend, and everything was kind of pointing towards that bullish monthly leap. Just the pump back to the previous monthly VWAP there. So I was really happy to see Bitcoin fill this move. And I had some people on Twitter asking me if I'm overall bullish or if I'm overall bearish. And my answer to that question was that I'm honestly neither. I'm this late into the 4-year cycle, I'm kind of merely just isolating windows of opportunity. I'm not looking for consensus. I'm looking for windows of opportunity to make money. So while people are on Twitter like asking, is now the time to get bullish again? The truth of the matter is I'm closing my trades. I'm taking the money. I just got this account funded past the challenge, and I made my almost 2%. And we didn't quite hit the monthly VWAP, the previous monthly VWAP, but it's close enough for me to like if I start seeing slowing, for instance, like you're going on these time frames, and yes, the VWAP target is up here, but if I start seeing like this type of candle, and it's just I see slowing, you got to imagine that this trade from that point may take twice as long for only, a fraction of a percent more profit. So you got to make a personal decision. Like when you get close to the target, do you sell out and close out? And in this case, I did. So I closed my little long that I had. Now this is a move like this. This to me is high confidence stuff. I was tweeting about it on Twitter, and I even mentioned it on like August 29th, even before the new monthly VWAP had began. We were back here, and I was telling you guys that this day, being a new weekly and monthly candle forming on the same day, was likely the beginning of a relief rally back to the last month's VWAP. So, last year, I would have hit this move a lot harder. I was playing with like 6 figures on 15 to 25x leverage. And it was like this precise type of move that I was able to grow my account from 20,000 to 100,000, and then from 100,000 to almost 350,000. But I don't brag about that shit more because, like, to be truthfully honest with you guys, like, I took a over 100K loss, and I had to like step away from that account. Like I had to go back to like a more humble style of trading because that clearly wasn't working. So my approach now is not asking too much of the markets. I just apply proper risk management to these moves and remain patient for them and not jump the gun. And that's what leads to the payout. I'm just catching up on the chat since, man, I spieled a whole lot. I didn't even read what you guys had to say. What's wrong with me? Ricky Spanish says pouring in. Yes, sir. I hope you guys like the rain ambiance. Blockchain Metal says it was a rough day. Yeah, man, it's a very rough day. And I didn't want to do the stream, but now that I'm here, I'm glad I'm doing the stream. All set is saying, what's up, bro? Motivation Grows Here says, what's up, FG? It was a sad day. BG says, Charlie Kirk had a huge influence on young voters. Yeah, he was a good blend of like not being too offensive, but still having his head screwed on in the right place. He's just like a good family man, a good example. Silosis said September will be remembered as the worst and best days of the year. Worst for the obvious and best because we believe we can let BTC rip up for Charlie and break the narrative. Man, there's a lot to unpack with a comment like that, man. You know, one thing it kind of reminds me of is like on Twitter, I was seeing Charlie Kirk Solana meme coins coming out. Personally, I think that's kind of sick, and I don't really like thinking about markets when real life shit is going on, because the markets are like a fantasy land for like the rich. It's like not a real reflection of what real normal people are going through. So I prefer to keep them separate in my mind, to be honest. Zach, the trader, asks a good question. He says, what made you want to trade VWAPs and how reliable are they compared to volume profiles, order blocks, trend lines? I would say that they are just as good as all those things, maybe better. They're very reliable. I mean, you can see that I come out live and I demonstrate. And I'm able to give you guys ideas, and then I come back for the next update in a couple of days, and the idea has actually played out. So the VWAPs give me a way of talking about the markets. So while most analysts are drawing all these levels and teaching you like all these insane concepts, I know it is a little mind-blowing to like be keeping things so simple, but I prefer to keep it simple. Personally, I don't have a problem with the dynamic nature of VWAPs. I don't really have a problem with the fact that like tomorrow, this month to date VWAP will be a little bit higher, and this previous month to date will be a little bit lower. That hasn't really affected my risk reward in any harmful kind of way. There are some drawbacks to it. For instance, like on the 1 minute chart, the bigger VWAPs, there's just not enough X amount of previous candles for these VWAPs to be accurate. So for some of the larger quarterly scale VWAPs, you have to go to like the 30-minute chart or above to get the actual value. For instance, this previous month to date on the 30-minute is up at 114.6. But if I go to the 1 minute, it's suddenly down here at 111,000. So there are some drawbacks to VWAP, some confusing drawbacks to VWAP, but if you understand like the code that goes into it, and you understand its limitations and its strengths, it works as good as like spider lines or any of that other stuff. Silosis says, you know damn well those meme token creators will do anything for money, promote or profit off other people's misfortunes. It's just, we live in an attention economy, and unfortunately, what gets our attention the most is rage. So we have a little bit of a conundrum here. Do we not subscribe to the rage baiting? It's almost like we lose either way, because if we don't get rage baited, the bad things keep happening. But if we get rage baited, well then we as individuals are the first to get hammered by the system. So it's a tough moral conundrum that Americans face themselves in, but just like how in a chart, if you're that guy who thinks that now is the big mega breakout, chances are you're going to get wrecked. Chances are things are just normal business as usual. And so you won't see me I'm always going to bet on a reversion back to the mean, just like how I trade how I think, if that makes sense. I like seeing things come back to earth. I like seeing things settle down, fizzle down, go back to where it should, go back from whence it came. So yeah, it's like I hope healthy change comes in society, and I hope we conquer our rage, just like how, when Bitcoin was going off into the doldrums here, I hoped, even though I had some long-term bearish concerns for you guys that I'm happy to share, I still am like hoping for a relief rally. I called for relief. I don't call for needless suffering and pain. Hunter X Hunter says, I love how you can take trading psychology and relate it to real life. Always some deep wisdom. Because, man, trading teaches you a lot about life. And I always been low key. I always been more of a poet. I always been more of a writer than I was a trader. That was what I was known for in school. Was I could write anyone's essay for them, and I had entries in the creative writing books that we released. I was bad at math, but I scored 100 on my writing SAT. So I have a way with words. I'm fluttering my eyelashes. I have a way with words. I'm aware of that. So in terms of this monthly leap on Bitcoin, I took my profits on it. So this is probably is going to go up a little bit higher. But I've gotten enough from this, and I've profited enough from today. I've kind of had it stuck in my mind that today is a sad day, a bad day, and a mad day. The worms wriggled up from the depths. The demons exposed themselves. And like we all saw something that we all shouldn't have seen, that shouldn't have happened. It's a sad world if people like Charlie Kirk aren't allowed to exist. As someone who like considered a political career and then decided against it, it is sad to see that like if you speak up for things, you're guaranteed to be hated. That's the man, you're not doing anything meaningful in life if you don't have haters. It's crazy, man. Looking at Ethereum, Ethereum has been struggling to get over the VWAP from its high. But look at this hidden bull div going on here on ETH. The daily definitely has printed like a believable green dot momentum wave. And like despite that momentum wave coming down, cooling off here, the price has held. So what we're seeing here is potentially strength building on a sideways previous month-to-date VWAP. But if I enable some larger VWAPs, just to give you guys some context of like what ETH is going through. There are levels down here that we could catch ETH if this did not work out. If this somehow gets worse, this money flow drains out, you've got some lifetime value down here at that year-to-date / Q2 VWAP down there. ETH has come a long ways, so it could also dump a long ways while still looking bullish. So right now, though, we observe price momentum potentially building at a very kind of bullish spot here, holding very strongly over the current quarterly VWAP. It looks to me like this chart might take the highs again, and next quarter might be, you might get a correction like that, like over here on October 1. You do want to be mindful of quarterly junctions for sure, but this party, which began on July 1, is probably not going to end until the new quarter comes and takes it out. Mike AF, thanks for joining, man. Appreciate your opinions on the tweet from earlier. Alexo Crypto, thanks for joining, brother. Much love. Silosis says a flash crash to 3,200 would be a blessing. Yeah, I'm not in the boat of ETH flash crashing down there quite yet. We would have to lose, like, these VWAPs would have to go down sloped. Like these monthly VWAPs would have to come down, and this would have to come down like this. And the price would have to be losing this Q3 VWAP before deeper targets get considered. Right now, I would say the momentum is in the bull's court, and we're riding atop. Even though we had a kind of rough sideways kind of period here, what we're observing on the smaller time frames is the 5MA, the black area, slowly being pulled into sideways and then potentially up. So it's a little subjective because, you know, that black area in the back was down like this. The slope was a downsloped environment. But this recent pump up and then backtest, a bullish backtest, this suggests, and then also we find a low above the 5MA for the first time in a while. This is actually instilling hope in that 5-day trend repairing, in which case you would not want to be bearish until that thing was sloped down again. But this is a fickle area, guys. Being the junction of two monthly VWAPs, this is a decision point. So, like, if I'm wrong and this starts breaking down to the downside, you may get that quarterly VWAP test. But for now, I think the bulls are doing something. But in terms of my money, I can't say I'm still in trades, guys. I did take my money, so. Trader Geo in the house. ETH needs 3,800. Let's see. Where's ETH? Where's ETH at right now? Ooh, yeah, that would be juicy, man. That would just be a quarterly VWAP test. And that would be a bullish. Like, the first time you come down and test ascending quarterly VWAP is usually a bullish interaction. So I expect 4,000 psychological level to be pretty strong. So if you went below that, you'd probably get a quick reclaim. Low-key beta Says Trader Geo, your tweets have me crying, man. Dude, Trader Geo's the man. He's hilarious. Uh, and he wants me to show how I pull the VWAPs. So I have an indicator that codes them. So I got one on the year to date, the first of the year, the first of last year, and then just specific dates. I have it coded where every Monday it prints a new orange VWAP, and every daily candle it prints a new green VWAP. Q1 is January 1, Q2 is April 1. You know what I'm saying? But when you're doing custom VWAP analysis, you can just go over here to the drawing tools. Where is it here? Anchored VWAP tool. You could put VWAPs on highs, lows. Look, the VWAP from the high gets you solid short entries there. You could do VWAPs from the low. Look, you do a VWAP from that low, and that ended up being a bottom right there. So a lot, in fact, most VWAP analysts you'll see using them sparingly on technical levels, just like this. My whole strategy of using like time period based VWAPs on like weekly and monthly candles and shit, I haven't seen too many people doing that. But that's an evolved behavior. I evolved that behavior because that's what worked. Shout out to Ricky Spanish in the chat. He said he's been doing the VWAP analysis too. I love your channel, man. Shout out to Ricky Spanish. Let me give you a wrench, bro, because you've been killing it. The world is not all so bad, guys. Like we're being shown. I think we're being attacked, and I think that people want to make you mad, and it's like an extreme. It's like a death cult, you know. It's like they have this desire to rage bait us and get us to keep us mad and keep us angry, and they're willing to like actually kill people to keep that environment going. You know, it's like someone has to get sacrificed so that we keep staying in stone cold survival mode. But as traders, man, like you can't let your emotions get the best of you. I think we are like uniquely equipped to tackle some of these moral dilemmas, because you just simply can't let your emotions get the best of you. And we understand that. Look at this crazy momentum candle on Litecoin here off the monthly. This monthly VWAP is goated, bro. Ever since that white line came online, it's just been hope restored in the markets. Look at Sui just fanning to the upside, getting its... Look at all these monthly leaps, guys. Smash the like on the stream. Smash the like for these monthly leap moves that we talked about on Sunday. And then also the week prior. Actually on August 29th, we were talking about this move. So tell me in the chat, guys, how has your trading been in this September environment? Has your trading been going well? I want to know. Has my analysis helped? Alex O'Crypto. Have a good night, man. Thanks for popping in. Look at Fartcoin getting its monthly leap. But see, it's like around this point, you hit that monthly leap, and it looks over. It's overbought on like the 4 hour. You know, this is typically at this level, you'll get some indecision. Even if you get continuation over, it's a tough area. The duration of your trade could 2 or 3x if you don't lock it in here. That's what I've learned. Not that I don't see like some emerging potentially positive signs like money flows coming back up. I see hope coming back in these 12-hour money flows. I'm like still pretty bullish, but also I've taken my profits and I'm waiting for like next week's VWAP. Waiting for like a couple days of data to pour in from this point because this is you guys are catching me at a point where in terms of my analysis, I'm in a take profit, de-risking slash wait and see kind of mode, which is where I love to be. It's where I love to be, man. Brad Hill says, not sure whether I'm anticipating some big news or just aware that we're near the end of the 4-year cycle. I think that your intuition that like kind of strange things are happening is definitely, dude, you're not alone. This is kind of eerie, guys, but I don't know what called me to tweet this other than it's just really truly like how I've been feeling. But I did this tweet 18 hours ago. The theme of this week, you don't know what you have till it's gone. A little bit of it was from obviously the story of the stabbing in the subway. That was sad. But also, this has to do with trading. This has to do with capital preservation. And when you lose that 20 grand or that 50 grand or whatever you started trading with, like, and then you got to trade with less, you know, like you don't know what you have till it's gone. And so you don't value what's important until it's too late, right? And so I tweeted this 18 hours ago, and then like the events of today happened, and this tweet just kind of like gave me the shivers. And I also was like reminiscing over this song, this Big Yellow Taxi song. So I pulled up the lyrics to it. And this is an old song, but it's like calling out what happens today. Like they paved paradise, put up a parking lot. They took all the trees, put them in a tree museum. And the first thing I thought of this was like, you know, it's hard to find like genuine women these days, but if you look online, they're everywhere, and like they're behind a paywall, you know. So it's not trees, but it's people, myself included. Like I'm one of these internet people who's online and shit. Like I was just tripping out reading the lyrics of this song. But this one really got to me, especially the events of today. Late last night, I heard the screen door slam, and a big yellow taxi took away my old man. And I was just thinking about those 2 little girls who lost their father today. And this song, I posted this song on that tweet 16 hours ago. So, Brad, I'm just telling you, like I was feeling weird too, man. I was feeling weird too. Is it because like we're like looking at the charts every day that we are in tune with certain things that some people aren't? Like, I don't know, man, but maybe it just means you're awake and paying attention, and maybe that's how everyone was feeling last couple days. Yeah, guys, kind of a sad, just overall, I'm not happy with today, but the trading is going okay. I hope your guys' trading is going all right. Motivation Grows Here said he hasn't been trading because he hasn't been. He said he's been feeling a little off. I think it's very healthy to trust your gut intuition about when to trade and when not to trade. You could argue that it's ethical to not trade when sad things happen. You know, especially if it's something important in your life in particular. It's like, what are you doing staring at charts all day? It's like if someone you know and love passed away or is going through something, like give them a call. What are you doing? Look, what are you doing trading for? But I owe it to you guys to do these midweek updates. Bearcat says, "Dear FG, is MCB updating right? I think CF is planning to update MCB. I don't know anything about an MCB update, but if there is a Market Cipher B update, I'll put a YouTube video update on it. So what are we seeing, guys? We are seeing emerging bullishness across cryptos. And this is also seen in stocks. You see CoreWeave just like blasting up, demon pumping out of nowhere today. So stocks are reacting as well. That being said, the early birds have already come in and gotten their fill. So the early bird has gotten the worm, and anything from this point is FOMO froth extra. That's the way I see it. So with that, that's my weekly midweek update, guys. I'll be back on Sunday, and if I have anything cool for you in the VIP, I'll let you know.